She was living in Taos, New Mexico, trying to mend a broken heart. Working as a screenwriter had worn her down. Studio politics, a film that never made it, dreams that didn't quite land. So she left and found herself in a small house facing the mountain. So each morning she sat at her wooden table, looking out at that mountain and wrote. No plan, no rules, just 3 pages a day. Little did she know, this was the beginning of what we now call morning pages, a practice that thousands of creatives use to sustain their voice. In this episode, we explore the artist way and how you can use these tools to support and deepen your creative life. Big Dreams and Little Things is the podcast for creatives, freelancers, and solo entrepreneurs who want to move forward one small step at a time. You make the world richer and more colorful, and we're the community that keeps you creating. From sunny Portugal, I am Maria.
And from a windy, a little bit icy cold today island in the middle of the Baltic Sea, I am Karina.
Welcome back to Big Dreams and Little Things. We are so glad that you're here. Today, we're talking about something that has genuinely changed the creative life of countless of people, including us. The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. We've both been through this book many times, and today we want to share some of what it taught us and what it can teach you. But before we get into it, I'm curious, Karina, after last time's episode, have you had any oh shit moments?
Oh, you bet. I have them all the time. All the time. And just yesterday in our check-in, you reminded me that when I was whining, or I was a bit scared, talking about my manuscript and maybe sharing it with a director friend of mine, and I was like, I don't know, it's not ready. And you were like, is this a no shit moment? Is this a no shit moment? So I'm going to do it.
I think what we discussed yesterday as well is that it almost makes it easier because you have a label for it. Oh, this is my oh shit thing. So that means I have to do it, right? Rather than
oh shit, that has tension to it, but exciting too. And I think, no. Oh, shit.
Yeah, amazing. I really love it.
And if you haven't listened to the last episode with Patrick, do, because it's really filled with inspiration.
Yeah, it really is. It is a great episode, and it's now out on video as well. So check it out. Today, we're talking about something different, something that has made an impact on, as we said, many creatives' life, and that is The Artist Way by Julia Cameron.
It's such a Bible. Well, I think as a creative, you go through different phases, just like you do in the rest of your life. Julia did that when she started with the morning pages, and then she did The Artist Way from that we're going to talk about. It's based on the 12-week program, the Anonymous Alcoholics 12 Weeks program. And that was something that Julia went through herself. She used that and then did a program for creativity instead. And each week has a theme, like recovering your sense of safety or your sense of play, and exercises.
My most powerful one, I mean, I've done it on my own, probably a couple of times, but then I did it with a group of women when I lived in Stockholm. And it was a variety. They were artists, they were actors, they were musicians, painters. It was such a profound experience, I found, doing it with others, because not only did you discover these things about you, but you heard others' experience and you could identify with a lot of what others were saying. I would definitely recommend doing it in a group. I think it was extremely powerful.
Yeah, but I picked up my original book. I have this in several different copies. I have it in Swedish too, and I have it in English too. And I flipped through and I was like, I need to do this again. Because it's not a book that you go through and you're done book. And I just thought I'd read 2 lines from it. Recovering a sense of power. And in my book, this is on page 74. It's under growth, which we are talking so much about. And it says growth is an erratic forward movement 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Remember that and be very gentle with yourself. I thought that was a great start to this work. And that starts scrappy, if anything.
Something she says as well, which I just want to bring up, which I think is really relating to us, what we're trying to create with big dreams and little things, is that she says she wants to leave behind little clusters of artists helping each other. And I think that's so beautiful. I mean, that's why we started doing what we're doing, isn't it? Because we wanted them to feel what we are feeling with the accountability meetings and having the community that are there for each other, supporting each other through various phases.
Yeah, and the myth says that the artist is the lone artist.
Exactly.
As you know, we don't believe that's true.
Community, yeah. It is. It makes all the difference. It really does. And we all need that solitude and the space to create and to thrive. But then we need the community to move on and to get the courage to be inspired, to be supported. So, I mean, that's what you get from a community.
It's so cool when you get that community going, like the course I'm doing now, like with all these women from all these different countries, different continents, and you speak and you're like, you can get an idea, maybe I should do something in the US. Well, now I know people there.
But in this week's story, we're taking it slightly different because we are going to explore how the Artist Way was born. And we're also going to talk about the 2 game-changing tools that Julia has in the book and that can really bring your creativity back to life. Julia Cameron was a writer, a successful one. She had an office on the Paramount lot, but her creativity came in painful spurts. It was an act of will and ego. She never thought drinking made her a writer, but she suddenly realized maybe not drinking would make her stop writing. In her mind, drinking and writing went together. The trick was always getting past the fear and onto the page. She was racing against time, trying to write before the booze closed in like fog and her window of creativity shut down. Then, in 1978, she stopped drinking. And everything had to change. She told herself if sobriety meant no creativity, she didn't want to be sober, but she also knew drinking would kill her. She had to learn to write sober or give up writing entirely. That's when she really had a big change. She learned something essential. She didn't have to bleed. She didn't have to force. She didn't have to suffer to be creative. She learned to get out of the way, to step aside and let something else work through her. She learned to just show up at the page and write down what she heard. Writing became less like inventing a nuclear bomb and more like eavesdropping. It wasn't tricky. It didn't require being in the mood. She turned her creativity over to something bigger than herself, the life force, the god of creativity, and she learned to be just the channel. Years later, Julia was walking in Greenwich Village when she suddenly knew she was meant to teach people how to unblock their creativity. Within days, she had a teaching position at the New York Feminist Art Institute. Her first class filled up, blocked painters, novelists, poets, filmmakers. She began teaching them a lesson she had learned, the lesson that came from necessity, from sobriety, from learning to let go and let it work through her. The morning pages. The first tool is morning pages. Julia discovered them in Taos, New Mexico. She'd gone there to heal. Her films had fallen apart. She was heartbroken, living in a small adobe house looking at Taos Mountain. She started writing 3 pages every morning. Nobody told her to do it. She just felt she should, so she did. She'd sit at her table, looking at that mountain, and write. Page after page, morning after morning. No answers came at first, just writing. And then one morning, a character named Johnny walked into her pages. Without planning it, she was writing a novel. The morning pages had shown her a way. And here's what the morning pages do. They bypass your inner critic to get you past your fears. They connect you to a source of wisdom inside of you. 3 pages, first thing in the morning, no editing, no judgment, just writing what comes. Anyone who does this faithfully will be led to guidance. When you're stuck with something painful and confusing, you go to the pages and ask, and answers will come. The artist date. The second tool is the artist date. Think of it as a play date with yourself. A block of time, maybe 2 hours a week, set aside just for you and your inner artist. No one else comes. No lovers, no spouses, no children, just you. The sacred time is about nurturing your creative self. To play, to find your artist. It could be a visit to a junk store, a solo trip to the beach for a sunrise, an art gallery, a long walk, whatever it is that feeds your artist. The point isn't money, it's time. It's showing up for yourself. It's saying, my creativity matters, I matter, and I deserve to be taken care of. That's how it began. And that's what Julia learned, and that's what she teaches. 2 simple tools that came from her own healing.
The magic of the artist's way isn't just in a book. It lives in the people who have used it. Gwyneth Paltrow, for example, has spoken about using morning pages to start her day. She uses this to process everything circling in her mind before the demands of the world take over. She describes it as a way to hear herself first, to get her own voice clear before anyone else speaks.
And then there's also Polly Porsma, an English singer-songwriter who created Morning Writers, an online group of people meeting each morning to write together. And they write in silence. She says, I love the rhythm this gets me into, the crap I pour into the page that sometimes miraculously turns into a new song. I also love that there are people joining me. It gives us some superpower somehow.
Tim Ferriss, who spent his life studying productivity and creativity, has said that morning pages help him unload his thoughts, frees his mind for actual creation, and stops him from getting stuck in loops of overthinking. It's a simple practice, 3 pages, longhand, messy, but it works.
I love that. And it shows that creativity isn't only about talent or inspiration. What it really is you being there, showing up. It's about the presence and it's about the connection.
For me, when I do them, they empty my mind and it makes me see what I'm thinking. We based a lot of the ECTA method on morning pages, the 15 minutes of sharing.
Yeah.
That is morning page spoken, basically. For me, the artist date has always, strangely enough, been harder. I guess it includes some kind of action. You know, you have to find, what do I think is fun? And that perfectionist come jumping into my mind. But I did the artist way, as I said, with a group of songwriters. What we did was actually everyone had to write down 5 artist dates that they really liked. And there were 10 people in the group. So that meant, you know, a list of 50 artist dates that you could choose from.
Suggestions.
Suggestions. And I remember one artist date was that a girl, a singer-songwriter, she took out her camera and it was springtime and she photographed shoes, you know, on the town and was inspired by that. And I think she wrote a song about it too. I think maybe we should differentiate between the morning pages and a diary, because it's not a diary. It's really free flow of thoughts, and you don't lift your pen, for instance. You keep writing, even if nothing comes, you keep writing.
It is a brain dump. I remember when I first did it, I was amazed how negative it was. You know, sometimes, because what is really clouding your mind, and that could also be revealing what is actually keeping you from doing certain things. In every episode, we also have science to back this up. And research by psychologist James Pennebaker shows that writing about what's happening inside us, especially like we're talking about here, the raw, unfiltered stuff, actually decreases stress, strengthens immune function, and increases clarity. But there's one important point, and it's not about writing well, as we've been saying. It's about writing true. Because when thoughts stay in your head, they loop. But when you write them down, they become something you can see, something that you can move through. So when your morning pages feel repetitive or chaotic or pointless, that's the process working. You're not creating content, you're processing your inner world.
Yeah, I mean, that's confirming exactly what we were talking about. There's a concept in behavioral psychology called self-efficacy. It's essentially believing you could do what you say you'll do. Research shows that small, consistent actions build self-efficacy over time. When you follow through, even on small commitments, you strengthen your trust in yourself. Oh, I can completely see that. You grow. And morning pages and artist dates are perfect for this. They're small, they're repeatable, and each time you show up, you're sending yourself a message. I keep my promises to myself. Over time, this rebuilds your relationship with yourself. You start trusting your voice, your ideas, your instincts. I really believe that they do that. And she writes that in the book. She writes, don't pull up the plant to see that it grows. That's a quote from The Artist Way. Because it dies. So keep it to yourself for a while and trust your own instincts. Creativity doesn't grow in self-doubt. It grows where there's enough self-trust to begin. So these practices aren't just about becoming more creative. They're about building the foundation, the psychological safety that creativity needs to emerge. I mean, we talk a lot about community, and that is amazing. But there is a point in time when you are in a creative phase where you might not share everything. It depends.
No.
You might be co-writing.
No.
That's one thing. But don't share it with anyone that you're not absolutely secure that you will get just love from, basically. I've really
Super
experienced, people, they want to help, but they come with the critical voice. Now, mom seems to do that a lot because you want to help. Yeah. I can hear myself. Hannah was learning to play the piano, and she was doing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and she was doing it with her hands like this. And I was immediately there saying, no, hold it like this, do this. And I was like, for heaven's sake, she's just learning to play. She thinks it's fun.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it is an important point that I think that Julia makes. Protect your inner artist. From negativity, from people who, as you say, you might not know that you're doing it, but protect it from criticism. And because hearing it might mean that you might not go on doing what you were thinking of doing because of it. So really, really crucial.
That your inner creator, is steering you.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, obviously, as we keep coming back to social media, a lot of artists and creatives and people in general expose themselves to all this, and people feel that because they're sharing something, they have every right to just come down on them, to criticize, to tell them exactly what they think, and it could be detrimental. It could really kill and make you shut down the creative voice that you have.
And of course, share your art. That's not what we're saying that you shouldn't, but just wait a minute.
And now it's time for Backstage Community, where we shine a light on the creatives, freelancers, and solo entrepreneurs who make the world more colorful. And this week's backstage guest is Ulrika Skogby. Tell us, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Ulrika Skogby. I live in Stockholm, Sweden, and I teach voice here. I teach singers and people who want to improve their voices in speech. I also teach stage performance techniques, and I'm a mindfulness instructor. Besides that, I'm a singer, songwriter, and performer, and I enjoy this combination of doing educational work very much with doing creative projects.
What keeps you creating right now?
What's keeping me creative right now is a writing project that I've been working on for a while, and it's a new way of writing that I haven't done before, which is really fun. I want to do more new things in my life. So generally, I'm having lots of fun, and curiosity is driving me, and lust.
What do you wish more creatives talked about honestly?
I wish more creatives would talk about their processes. The process of doing things creatively is really what interests me a lot. We have so much social media that gives us the results of what people are doing most of the time, and it looks so easy. I know it's not easy for most of us, so I wish people would talk more about what's going on behind the scenes for them. How do they create?
How do you celebrate your wins?
I celebrate my wins with, first of all, recognizing the very small wins, because it's sometimes hard. We want the win to be big, you know. I'm learning to recognize small wins and to celebrate them with people who I know would be supportive and to share. So I celebrate by sharing. I hope we all learn to see our wins that we are experiencing and that we are going through as creatives. It's very easy to see the stuff that we are not doing, but to see that we are doing things, that we are working slowly but surely. That's what I would think would be great. I hope everybody will have a nice and creative spring. All the best to you. Bye.
We are nearing the end of this episode, and here are some takeaways for you. Remember that morning pages are your creative rescue kit, and use them.
Your inner critic is just noise. You can choose not to listen.
And creativity is a way of living, not just what you are producing.
And you don't have to do this alone. Community matters.
And even 20 minutes a day of honoring your creative self will change everything.
Yes. So, what's your win this week? Did you challenge an oh shit moment? Did you protect an hour for your art? Did you reach out to another creative? Remember, even the tiniest steps counts. Connect with us at Big Dreams and Little Things. Please, if you like this episode, share it with a friend and maybe write a little review. That would mean the world to us.
Yes, come and join our community of creatives.
You can sign up at ektahub.net/weekletter.
Thanks for listening to Big Dreams and Little Things. We are Karina and Maria. Keep dreaming. And remember, show up,
Speak up.
and never miss
The victory
the victory dance.
It's the little things that count, the things that make you
Bye. See you next time.
It's the little things that matter, that take you through the day. A smile from a stranger, that brighten up.